The loan officer we're about to talk to is currently closing between $3 to $4 million per month. He's seen his business grow quite a bit over the last couple years despite the higher interest rates. And because of his growth, he started to hire people to help support him. His struggle is that he's never had people that have reported to him before, and he's trying to figure out how can he get them to do more so he can focus in on getting more business. So my guest co-host and I, we talk with him how to structure his day and the things that he needs to do in order to take advantage and leverage his team. All of this on the next segment of the Loan Officer Hotline.
All right, so I got Brian. Brian runs a nice sized branch. He is growing exponentially. Even in this market, his branch is still growing, which is great. And I think that you're actually having some bottlenecks in the growth process. There's some growing pains. And we got Jonathan just dropped on. What's up, Jonathan? And I don't know if have you ever met Brian before?
Good.
No.
Okay. Brian's a pretty good guy. I kind of like him. But
I try my best.
He does. He's doing good. So he's growing a ton, even in this market with these rates. And so we can go into which direction that you have, Brian. I kind of have an idea where you might want to take it, but what are the things that you feel, or the biggest thing that you feel right now is kind of restricting your growth?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it. It's just, I think, it's coming down to just figuring out I have the assistant now. I have the hands to delegate it to, but it's just figuring out the exact system that works for us, right? I've never, 10 years in this business, never really had help. I've always done it on my own, and I think that's also hindered me over time and affected me from growing sooner, but it's learning how to delegate properly and efficiently,
Yeah, I'm actually, hey, Jonathan, I don't know if you know Jonathan's history, and I think you're perfect to answer this for Brian, because you were a monster producer, and correct me if I'm wrong in any which way this, Jonathan, but you were a monster producer, then you went and started your own company, and when you started your own company, obviously you started having employees and all of that stuff and new responsibilities, and now you're the CEO of the largest, represent all of us mortgage brokers out there. How did you transition in going from producer to leader, still in having to produce, implementing new cadences for managing your team and growth, making sure everything?
So I started at Quicken, direct to consumer, very dialed in, was very fortunate. I had a lot of wins, man. Here's what I'll tell you that on this side, that was really hard. We're all such A-type personalities, and I'm the same way. It's like my realtor just wants to talk to me. My loan officers just want to talk to me. The clients just want to talk to me. I was in that mindset even when I came to the broker space, because that's the mindset I had just
Right.
being in direct to consumer, had the same mindset here. And I'll tell you the one thing that helped me, and it took me up until I even hate to admit it, it's embarrassing, but I don't care. It's like right after COVID, because COVID was so busy, we we're all making money. It's like I didn't even care. Like we're making millions of dollars, having a blast. But afterwards, things slowed down. It's like I don't want to keep working 12, 14 hours a day. I got to figure this out. Every time I get an LOA, it doesn't work. I get a processor, it doesn't work. I actually, a very good friend of mine, he's a full stack developer, sold his company for incredible amount of money, doesn't have to work again. And he sat down with me, he said, "Do you know how to mind map?" I said, "Yeah, super easy." "Yeah, I don't. I have zero idea how to mind map." So sit with a developer and just literally for an hour, put your phone away and just sit there and have them ask you as many questions as humanly possible about what you're trying to accomplish, how to accomplish it. Brian, it was the most frustrating process I've ever gone through. I've never wanted to strangle somebody so bad, but when I tell you, like after 2 to 3 meetings of just an hour at a time, it was insane what we built out. Like, here's the end goal. Here's the type of person that you need. Here are the responsibilities. Here are their roles. But if you're like me, and I don't know, Brian, but I'm very like ADD. I'm very, piece of candy. I do need somebody to keep me organized, and having him, I was very blessed. But man, spending a month with him doing that, it really changed what I do and how I operate. And that was it. And I know that might not be like the method you're looking for, but I don't want to give you all the BS people are going to give you, which is build out a team and know what they want and have SOPs. If you don't know how to do that, like I didn't know, you need somebody that's a dog at it and can teach you and walk you through that process.
Hey, real quick, if you're a loan officer or a branch manager and your business is stuck, whether it's because you don't have enough business coming in or you're having trouble getting the business closed, I want to help you. I do free loan officer hot seats where I invite loan officers on one at a time, and I help them fix the biggest issue in their business that's stopping them from to grow. Now, if this is something that interests you, in the description is an intake form. Fill that out, let me know a little bit about your business, and I'll personally review it. If it's something I think that it can help, then my team will reach out to you and we'll get you scheduled for one of our upcoming hot seats.
And I think that is, like you mentioned, the ADD. Yeah, I'm the same way. And I'm always going a million miles an hour, and I've never had systems, right? I've been great at my job. I do a great job for my clients, but I'm always going a million miles an hour. I've never stopped to design everything, how it should flow. And
do you want to try one?
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you good with that?
I want to hear this because I need this.
Okay. All right. You're going to hate this, but if you want to try, here we go. I'm going to, can we walk through one of the main ones for you? Is it like a processor, LOA? Can you walk me through a situation?
Yeah. So, one of my bottlenecks you're asking?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, really, it's just, right now it's become, I just feel like with who I have hired, she's helping me with processing pretty much, especially now Beverly doing a lot of the front end stuff. It's awesome, by the way.
Jonathan likes to hear that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Awesome. I did have her doing front end stuff, but now I'm just exiting her out of that role. So more so in the processing role. And it's figuring out a way to just have her always be working in the background without me constantly having to be like, hey, do this. Hey, do this. Hey, do this. I going back to running a million miles an hour. I'm not actively sitting there all day thinking about, I got to tell her to do this. I'm the kind of guy, I'll just go do it.
So now here's where we solve. And sorry to cut you off, but this is here we go. You ready? So DJ, if you don't mind, since you have the cool camera overhead, if we can draw a circle in the middle. So, and this is where it gets frustrating, Brian. Are you ready? So the main objective for you is you want somebody that will basically learn and figure out how to do things, but you want them to understand all the parts of the mortgage process so that when you're active and on the field, you have very minimal concerns about what's actually occurring and your business is being pushed forward. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, I don't want to think about conditions. I don't want to, when conditional approval letter comes out, I want you to jump on it and do it and collect the conditions. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to have to tell you, hey, today collect these conditions. Hey, do this. I can't babysit. I want to be out like you said, out in the field, just doing my thing and knowing that everything is happening on the back end.
So in the middle of that, DJ, can you write Brian's internal peace? Would you say that if you had somebody actively working all of these, you would have more peace about your business as you're out on the field? Is that a fair statement to make?
Definitely.
So what's hard for me is to condense the thoughts. So always try to take these thoughts and break them down as simple as possible. What is at the mainstay here? Brian wants peace, and he wants to know that when things are moving and the loan is in process, that things are happening. When I get an email, I want a response. When somebody does my income, I want it to be done right. I just want to check it. Hey, no problem. This looks good. Send it, ship it. Hey, here's how you solve this condition. They figure it out. Now, outside of there, DJ, let's make a bunch of different lines. So here's all the things that we have to work on. Brian, number one, we would call it conditions. Is that fair?
Yes.
What about emails?
Emails I could answer. It's really
Perfect.
just I don't know. I'm reconnecting into my Bluetooth. It just disconnected for some reason.
And this is where
Unless
it's
they
gonna
died.
get hard, right? This is the hard part. So if you do emails, great, leave them alone. And most of us, I just started doing this 3 years ago. So I never did anything like this until he came in and was like, yo, you don't know what you don't know how to do this. Like you said, you can mind map and you don't know how. So conditions, what else? Income verification. Is that something
Income,
you'd like?
yeah, income verification. Obviously, again, going back to Beverly's doing a lot of that stuff. When they upload their docs, it's analyzing, it's doing it, which has been just great. That's been a great peace of mind knowing that that's already done and figured out. Obviously, we still have to monitor and make sure that, I'll never just trust technology 100%, right? But so I'd say, yeah, that definitely helps. Obviously, some of our wholesale partners have great technology that also help verify income and do all that stuff quickly and efficiently. And I'm just gonna
No, you're
walk
good.
outside
Now,
here.
walk me
But
through your day, right? So we have income verification, we have conditions, and this is where it gets frustrating. Walk
Right.
me through your day. Think about your morning, think about your afternoon, think about your evening. Where are times
Right.
where you look at your phone and go, oh man, oh God, I got to get on this. I got to jump on there. What are more? Give me the
Yeah,
bottlenecks
it's a
on what.
lot because again, I still feel like I'm just too involved in the process, and then I feel like a lot of my extra time spent working, I put in a lot of hours, but I'm not doing things that could make me more money. I'm doing things that might start I that doesn't it's not my time's not well spent doing is how I should say.
DJ, let's use another line that's way off to the right, like just from move it all the way to the right, and then put Brian's focus, income generating activities. This is where he wants to be spending his time. If we can get Brian internal work peace, Brian will then have the ability to generate more income for his family. Is that a fair statement for me to make?
Absolutely.
So now we're going to continue. I'm going to keep pushing you to work backwards here, and this is the frustrating part. We are going to need to find these actual bottlenecks. We know conditions being pushed is one. We know just double checking the income is two. Now let's talk about communication. Is there anything there that stands out in your head? And just think.
No, I mean, yeah, I think like we have pretty fluid communication, me and my assistant. I mean, so most of our communication happens through a Google chat. It's just all day long. We're just messaging each other. Usually on Mondays we'll do like a pipeline call and just kind of plan out the week and go through like what we have. And then if it's like really important, we'll do a phone call. But I try to just not, get on the phone if I don't need to, And so I feel like communication's fine.
Do they initiate the conversation, or do you initiate the conversation?
Depends, who logs in first. And, sometimes she's in a little earlier than me and she might, start the conversation in the morning. But, throughout the day, it might be me saying, hey, can you work on this? Or, so it really depends.
So this is where my challenge comes in, and this is the challenge for me. Okay, and this is what my mentor. This is what he told me. This is the exact conversation.
Right.
What you're describing, in my opinion, and again, I don't have a lot of context. It's been about 18 minutes, but what you're describing sounds similar to me, which is that person needs to be giving you the insights every morning. So when you log in and look, this is exactly what needs to happen for the day. You having to come up with that stuff is not going to be practical. And that's where you're going to get frustrated because you know what to do. You know you need to generate more business to pay everybody. Like that's just the reality of us. Like we're not very complicated people. We're like, yo, I go to a networking event, I met another agent, I got a pre-approval, there's more money-making activities for me to do. That's all I want to be doing right now is generating income.
Right.
And so the challenge with this mind map that we're going to have is we're either going to have to train that person how to have these conversations and walk them through our process and make them set the expectations that this is what I need every single morning in my email, in my Google chat. This is exactly what I need is you to build out what I need to do. Like they need to learn how to drag out what you need. But in order for them to do that, we have to really sit down and figure out the rest of your bottlenecks, right? If it's just conditions and income, like that's easy. I just know it's deeper than conditions and income. And I know I'm putting you on the spot and you're going to have to clear your mind.
It's definitely deeper than that. There's probably things that I just don't even think about yet that could be improved. Because I'm still just so focused on the basics that should be taken care of. And during the day, it's hard to find the time to work on these systems. The only time is at night after the phone's not ringing anymore, right? So it's, I've little by little been trying to work on it. Now Chris and DJ sent me some stuff. DJ, was that yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday I think.
Yeah, and they sent me some stuff to like something that like is kind of obvious now, but I just wasn't thinking about was like setting goals for like timelines of like, hey, when the conditional approval comes out, you have X amount of hours to like jump on it and send out the conditions list. Like I didn't have a timeline for her. In my head, I'm like, well, it came out, so just work on it. But not everybody thinks like me, and yeah, like she's an employee, she's not me, so I should be setting a expectation like this needs to be done in this much time. And if I do, then she will actively, the hope is she will actively just jump on it when it comes out because she knows she only has so much time to do it,
Can I give you some questions that have really helped me that you can ask your processor that I was given?
Totally. Yeah.
Okay. So here's my question to you. And here's the first question I would ask her. If there's a file in front of her right now and you asked her, what do you think I care most about on this file? Would she know that answer?
I don't know. I don't know.
So that's like question number one. What do I care most about on this file? Like your team needs to know that because that's your standard. And once
Right.
they understand the importance of the file, the importance of the client, you will start seeing a dynamic. So that's question number one. The next question that I love asking my team, the
I'll say this,
processors.
John.
Go
John,
ahead.
I'm sorry. I'll say
No,
this.
go ahead.
Earlier on, when I first started working with her, I did explain to her what I'm looking to build out, the kind of system I'm looking to build out, the kind of experience I want to build. And it's just I would, to sum it all up, I would say streamline. Streamline and uniform. That is what I'm looking for. Just a clean process. Same thing for every single client, because it's like as a singular loan officer, right? You're just one person and you're doing things like a loan officer. But when you build something out, you can build a streamlined process with, like, every time something happens, the same email goes out, pre-approval, same email template, conditional approval, same email template. So like that's been something she has implemented those things, like when sending out the conditional approval and whatnot. But so I would say she probably would know because I've went over this in detail of what I'm looking for. But yeah,
So
I would
that
say overall client experience is what
so
I'm.
that's my and that's where my challenge comes to you, right? It's like she probably should know. Does she know? And it's
Right.
like this, and look, this is not easy because this is one, you're so busy, and it's like, I don't have the time to keep sitting down and constantly reinforcing. But in this situation, it is what you're going to have to do. And even if you do 10 minutes a day, every single day, that her answer should always be the same. Like if I asked her, hey, what does Brian care about on the loan? And then DJ a day later asks her, that answer needs to be basically exactly the same between today and
Right.
tomorrow. And for a lot of people, it isn't. And let me be clear, man, I want you to know, I am still working on this. Like there's still people on my team you could ask, what's John love? And they're going to say, he loves making sure the loan closes, And I'm like, no, that is not
No,
the goal for
you're
us,
thinking like a corporation, like what's our mission statement?
Always. And I
Yeah.
would do, even at Rocket, when I had my team of 12 people and we did $1.2 billion a year for 3 straight years, I had
Yeah.
my own, and I want to give you the craziest thing that happened to me that pissed me off but changed my life. One of my mentors, he's right on here. He's this guy right here. His name's Chad. Okay. Chad one day was walking around the floor and there was a bunch of teams on the floor, right? And all of the leaders would kind of sit at the end and you would see who they are. We'd stand up. So Chad was walking by team and he kept asking everybody the same question. What do you stand for? What does your team stand for? So he gets to me and I'm excited. I'm 24, maybe 25 at the time. And I'm like, I'm going to crush this. And he comes over and he says, John, what do you stand for? I said, Chad, we're a family and we're tight knit and we love each other. And he looks at me and he goes, you really didn't think about it. That's such a shitty answer. And he smiles
Right.
at me and he walks away. And I was furious. I was like, what? My team crushes it. I'm topping the company. So I'm sitting there just swelling, just losing my mind. He goes to his office. I said, you know what? I can't do this. I beeline to his office. I'm a big boy. All right. I'm 6'2", like 260 pounds. And my face was angry. So I'm beelining to his office and he sees me and he can't stop smiling, just laughing. So I opened the door and I said, Chad, why did you say that? He said, John, everybody I talk to says they're a family. And I want you to know it's bullshit. Because you're not going to die for them. You're not going to jump in front of a bullet for them. You just said that because you think that's what you should say. If you really care about your team, they should know what you stand for and your standards. And after that happened, we got with the team and we built out what we called the Big Four, which is what we stand for every single day. And every morning I would email them the Big Four. We are a team that holds ourselves accountable. We are responsible for our actions. We do everything with integrity, and we have the deep conversations even when we don't want to. And every morning, they would get an email from me, our Big Four, and I CC'd Chad for 2 years straight until he finally replied to me and said, hey, fine, now I know what you stand for. And if you asked anybody on my team, what does your team stand for? All of them would tell you the Big Four. I had to send that email for 2 years. And every morning I would ask them at our team huddle, what do we stand for? What's our Big Four? And so it's frustrating, but this is what I'm talking about even with your processor, where it should never be different. And look, I want to jump into another question that I love asking them. What do you need from me today and what can wait? Like, what do you need from me today? Their answer should never be, I don't know what I need from you today.
Right.
Like that's an unacceptable response. And so all of these frameworks, it's something you're going to have to figure out, but this is a conversation you need to have with your team every single morning. And I don't mean to say like do this or else. It's please don't take it that way. I hope you're not. It's a matter
No.
of this is the only way it's going to work. And think about your own family. Think about your
Right.
growing up. Think about like how people set expectations with you growing up. My dad
Right.
told me 47 times, the same thing. And I finally clicked and I said, okay, hold on. I probably shouldn't do this anymore. It's the exact
Right.
same methodology because we're always going to revert back to our comfortable patterns. I hope that makes sense. I know it's a lot. I know it's not easy.
No, that makes perfect sense.
Thanks, DJ. Sorry, I know I went on a
No,
tangent
you're totally
there, but
good,
you got
brother.
me fired
I
up.
love it. So like Brian, when it comes to your team is evolving as you grow into the leader that you need to be in order to scale is what Jonathan is telling you, and that's the same thing I had to do, and I'm still developing. Like I have Chris, my business partner Chris, and he's the one, like he's this mind map guy. That he's the kind that puts it, as you could probably tell. You and I are a lot more similar in that we just want to make things happen and go. And one last thing before we got Steve coming up on here is one thing that's helped me as I have people that work directly for me is when they frustrate me, I don't ask them. I ask myself these things first before I talk to them. Do they know what I want them to do? Generally, probably the answer is probably yes, but sometimes they don't. They don't know. Do they know how to do it? Here's a third one, and this is the one I think you're coming to the big realization is when. When do I want it done? The last one is that if yes, they know what, they know how, they know when, then the last thing is desire, meaning that do they just not give a shit and they don't care? And that's the spot is if they know all these things, is that then there's no desire. That might be is that I might have a conversation, I need somebody wrong or I have the wrong person. What I have found for myself is that when somebody's not delivering, is that immediately I think I jump to desire, right? Is instead of going through what, how, when, I immediately think is they just don't freaking care and they don't want to do it. But there's usually something else for most people that there's a bottleneck from. And some of it might be time, right? There might be another fourth one is that, yes, they have all of it, but do they have the time to do it? And they might say, hey, I'm trying to, but I have all of these other things that are completely cannibalizing me and I'm struggling, right? Like, yeah, I want to do it. I know it needs to get this time, but I have these 3 other files I'm trying to get done. And then you might say, oh, okay, well, you actually can stop that file, work on this one. And that's a teaching thing.
Yeah.
Brian,
brother,
can I email you this template that I have my team send me every single day?
Absolutely.
It's super extensive and it took me a long time to get them to do this, but every morning I get this. What's your email? I'll send it to you right now.
So it's bhackey, that's HAAKE, nexalending.com.
Perfect. It's on the way.
Brian, appreciate you, brother. Reach out anytime, okay?
Absolutely. Thanks, DJ. Thanks, John.
Take
You're
care,
welcome.
brother.